3, a 2, and 1. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining me. I am Anthony Taylor. Today, I have the privilege of sitting down with Isabel Marcheselli. Let's give her a hand and welcome her to the Anthony Taylor Radio Show. So, Isabel, how are you?
Hi, Tony. Thank you so much for having me. It's a privilege to be here chatting with you about music, and I am doing very well here. Western Mass, bit cold, but doing great. Happy to be here. How are you doing?
I'm great. Thank you so much for asking. To everyone out there, me and Isabel have been chatting back and forth, and she is very, very, very interesting person. I particularly like her music, and hearing her voice is very, very nice in person, because I knew that bubbly personality that I can see in her pictures would probably come through on the radio here. And here she is. You know what? Another round of applause for Isabel, because I'm delighted to have you here with us today.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. That means a lot to hear from you, Tony. Yeah, thank you so much.
You're very welcome. You're very welcome. So, getting into it, you are a musician, of course, a singer, correct? And
Yes.
I have heard a few of your tracks. And
Yeah.
from what I can tell, you're very passionate about what you do. And I always wanted to know, after hearing your music, how do you contain that passion to actually, how about this? What would you say your process is when you approach a song?
Well, that's a powerful question. Channeling feelings into music making. And well, what I can tell you very simply is the same things that were in effect. I started off young, writing poetry, even as an adolescent. And I was familiar with the process of just feeling something and writing it down. And trying to make it, well, I don't even know that I tried to make it anything. I was just communicating to myself, keeping, teenage diaries and all that, journals. And this kind of flowed very naturally. It was like this little chemical laboratory experiment and an explosion waiting to happen, this union between my music and my writing. And it happened in my 20s, where I really started writing these songs that are the ones that are recorded. Because I was already writing, working on music in my teens, but okay, so you're asking me something very specific, and I want to tend to that. I just feel that I need to communicate from my heart, and I'm gonna make myself kind of vulnerable. I happen to be very personally inspired, as many artists have been throughout time, by the subject of love. Recently, I was thinking about my mission statement, and I just believe that if anybody can really communicate about love, musicians can. They're in a good place to do it. And I just find myself, I have a bit of a lover's soul, and I want to very, very specifically specify that by saying that I just find so much to wonder about life, and I'm in a state of wonder and love. And I think that life can be beautiful. I think that the human race is beautiful overall. I think that there's just so much to feel and communicate. And I happen to, I'll be very plain. I've also been through my share of relationships, where I talk about my relationships and the effects they've had on me. And so then gathering all these feelings, the thing is sometimes it's very organic. It's just that my songwriting soul just needs to kind of hone in on something. like a little. It's kind of like it starts off as a little thread, and I don't know where it takes me. It's a bit of a revelation, even writing a song for me. But I know the initial feeling that starts it, and sometimes it's a feeling of love, curiosity, wondering, musing, reflectiveness about something that has happened to me or something that is going on in the world. So then there's the task of giving it words. And I think in some ways, I think the less I think about the words, the better. I think that the more they flow out, then that's a more true source for me. Of course, later I go back and edit. But what I have noticed is that when I write a song, and then I'm just too intentional about the editing, like the song can really utterly fall apart. Like if I don't stay close to my heart, I cannot proceed with the song. I think the song just reaches this point where it's just a dead end. So, songs are activated by my heart, by my faith, my spirituality, my sense of love and wonder for the world, life, my higher power, people, and the way it impacts me. And sometimes it's a very multifaceted thing. It's not always peaches and rainbows. Sometimes we'll work you through some hard things in songs, some hard truths, and things don't always come out sounding so pretty. But in the end, it can be very cathartic because there's something about uniting words with music that is just, the music just carries the feeling, the words, the ugly truths along, like almost like on butterfly wings. It makes something lighter that otherwise would just be unbearable. Yeah.
Okay, I see. So that right there answered so many questions that I had for you. And you are a wonderful speaker.
Thank you.
The moment you knew music was your path, was that inspired by relationships or situations of love or things that happened around you to make you want to go to music? Or did you just one day say, hey, this is what I want to do?
Wow, it was a bit of a slow, kind of and at the same time fast thing. I guess they say that things are hindsight 2020. So I kept putting out songs, and everything was mobilizing in place. Shows and listeners and appreciation. Everything was just kind of creating those conditions for me to continue, because I wasn't really sure. I didn't set out to be a songwriter. I mean, when I was in college at Cornell, I was thinking I'd go into, I don't know, like international relations or something. But I was always doing music. That for sure. Even there in college, and in fact, it was, maybe I was in some state of denial about what I was really wanting to do, because I knew that after I graduated from college, I for sure wanted to study at Manus. I wanted to take composition and more technical classes. So then all of this kind of gained traction, and just it was just kind of like, I leave it to people to just, yes, I have my sense of who I am. And then, of course, there are people who see me as more of a songwriter. And there are people who see me more of a singer. And there are people who kind of see me, I don't know, in some other light. So, I step into what it is I am. And I don't think there was any specific moment. But I think maybe there was. At the time of the formation of my band, Isabel and the Whispers, I started feeling that everything was in place for me as a singer-songwriter. So, and I was motivated by my songs. I wasn't doing a ton of covers a long time into, before I started my band. It came from an original source. So, and that source was already kind of like echoing back to what I'm telling you before, all that writing and that I had been doing from when I was very young, much younger. So,
Yeah. I was gonna
yeah,
ask about Isabel in the Whispers, but
sure.
it looks like you read my mind.
Yeah.
So, what is the one thing that you would like for your listeners to take away from your music after hearing your song? Like, what should reside with them?
Well, this is a powerful, powerful question. I am someone who's okay, love. That's what I want them to take away. The feeling of, and not a certain parts of love, because love itself is such a huge thing, such a huge multifaceted thing that means a lot of different things to a lot of different people. Um, to me, I, you know, my parents are immigrants, and I did not grow up with like a ton of people all around me. There's a little stereotype about Latino people that they have their huge family. They're very family focused. They have their huge families and huge gatherings. Well, that was the opposite of my experience. So I came to view writing as a young person as a way of communicating to the other side. And who the other side is anybody else out there. And that evolved into singing songs, where I continue to communicate to anybody else out there who gets what I'm talking about. And that does not necessarily mean people who are actually around me. So these days, I think we're very geographically focused and very, all these metrics in place to measure where people are. And are you talking to them around you? But actually, I'm really talking to anyone in the whole universe who gets what I'm talking about with love and working out the mysteries of humankind and human relating, and on the path to enlightenment, to inspiration, bringing more meaning out of life than just the mundane. So I'm as inspired in this writing of my songs as any songwriter has ever been. It's because you perceive there's more to life and to everything, and you tapping. It's almost like a metal detecting, or just you're tapping for the gold moments in our lives
Absolutely,
that
absolutely,
so deeply to us. Right? You have your own gold moments, and I have my own gold moments, and folks out there have them, and we hope that. So again, I just want to stress that the motivating force hasn't necessarily ever been anyone immediately around me, but just then again, my songs do start with one. There's the problem of one versus many. Are you addressing one person, or are you addressing many people in your songs? I'm talking about me now. So if I'm addressing both one and many. I am speaking to somebody who has probably been in my life for sure, and then I'm kind of in my mind, as the person who thinks in the way I think, I kind of broaden out the audience to many.
got you. So, a interesting question would be, if you could collaborate with any artist, past or present, who might that be?
Oh, collaborate with any artist, past or present. Who would that be? I I'm embarrassed to say. I feel like I've said this before, but okay. But I want to. At first, I have answered this question before, and I said Quincy Jones last time. But I think that I might modify my answer now. May Quincy Jones rest in peace.
Yes.
Amazing, legendary producer and artist and everything. I, you know, uh, I can't think of anybody. because the thing is this. Well, you know what? Maybe I can. No, wait, no. There's got to be someone I can think of. If you can you give me like a few seconds?
Well,
Let's see.
you don't have to. You know what I mean? Maybe that answer is still being formulated, because you're still on your journey and you haven't, and there's so many options. You're clearly passionate. So I know whoever that person is will definitely mirror the passion that you bring to the music. And I'm sure you'll find the answer one day, but, it's, we can stick with Quincy Jones. That would have been a nice choice to be with.
Yeah, that's with Quincy Jones. I so respected his production. I would love to work with a producer. I would love to identify a producer with whom I wish to work more. But at this point in time, I'm still in the search, I think.
Gotcha. There you go. So what's next for you? Any projects or goals you're excited about? I do know you have a few recent releases. You want to talk about that a little bit?
Yes, I do, and I'm going to do my best to tackle it in the compact way. I have released 3 releases. Josephina, my song Josephina, which was a song that was very popularly received, especially when I perform on my Isabel and the Whispers. It continues to be very well received and breaks down lots of audiences. I mean, just they come and tell me they really appreciate it, or they made them cry, and it can just kind of change hearts, like, that maybe they weren't listening to, but now suddenly they are. So I decided to really go with that, and I made the remix of Josephina with more production, more ambiance, slow, but kind of still a little slow sense of it. But I just really wanted it to feel like just otherworldly. Then I came up with the Josephina jazz arrangement, which was a wonderful collaboration with Francisco Paragallo, jazz virtuoso artist in Argentina, who really made that like just, I don't know. I wanted him to bring it to cafes. I wanted him to bring that song to, we worked together to make it intelligible to others. And it was so well received. I think, if I'm not mistaken, it ended up on some playlist. It was just really well in Japan. It really was very well received. Then I released, Dot to Dot digital remaster, which has probably been my best received track to date. Mm-hmm. That is a song that I wrote, years ago, but I continue to perform it pretty faithfully in all of my shows. It's just one of those staple songs that people just tell me again and again they appreciate. It's a love song and probably my most poetic song. I released a version of Josephina's string quartet arrangement, but I took it down because I wanted to rework it, and it's my intention to re-release it, record it and re-release it. So those releases, I probably I want to promote them more, and I want to work more on production to continue to build upon my body of original work, and with my own production, and in collaboration with other producers.
Absolutely.
So that's going to be a big thing. Yeah, that's on my wish list for 2025.
Man, that's not too much to ask. That's not too much to ask. Now, on a side note,
Sure.
Marcheselli Music Studio. What is going on there?
Oh yes, I'm happy to tell you a bit more about it. It happens to be my piano studio. I've had an independent private piano studio of my own for now what is coming upon 10 years. So in March. So in just a few weeks, we celebrate our 10-year anniversary.
Congratulations. Hey, you know what?
I do find yes.
Let's round of applause for that one. You know what I mean? Because, man, that is 10 years. That's a decade in the making. Perfection, I should say. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. I get very moved when I really let myself let it sink in. It really moves me. Um, but I just want to really touch really quick upon your previous question. I have two shows coming up. A Valentine's show at the Westfield Athenaeum on February 6th. I'm super stoked because this is my subject, love, my favorite subject. And then another show to welcome the spring at the Springfield City Library. I'm coming back there. I'm returning to the Westfield Athenaeum, I should say. This would be my fourth show there, and this would be my second show at Springfield City Library. And they're excited to have me there, and I can't wait. I'm working on this hybrid mix of romantic piano music and my original music and some lively jazz. Like, I feel like that combo works for me because I just don't like having to do just one or the other. I don't like being forced to just I don't know, become too homogenous in any one genre because I don't know. I feel like I got closed in by that, so I want to do more. And then, of course, I have a jazz track. A dance track. I think a dance-inspired track on the web this summer to be released, but I won't unveil the actual release date yet. It's my Josefina mix, but this time for really dance-inspired EDM. There's an electronic drum beat there. Along with organic instruments, including the playing of a world-class violinist who is playing my Josefina melody. And and that was a piano studio, 10th anniversary, which is like huge. There's just a lot of celebrating and a lot of just a lot cooking there.
That's amazing. That is so amazing. Do you want to, or could you give some information, like website information or any social medias you want to put out there in case anybody wants to find out more about Miss Isabel, Marcheselli. Yes. I know she's on Spotify, correct?
Yes, I am on Spotify. People can find me on Amazon Music, Apple Music, Deezer. What I would love is for people to go to my website and to really, I'm doing my best efforts to, what am I saying? To make that the hub. I want to make that the hub and musical headquarters of my work. And by the way, I forgot to mention that one of my songs, Wander, became an original movie soundtrack for the Sony Award-winning movie In God We Trust, directed by Raphael Edwards and Sang-hoon Eric Park. And that's a song that's scheduled to come out in the future too. We're deep in the midst of the technical production of that song. But I adapted that song to that movie, Tony. So, I just want to let you know, I don't want to leave that out. That was just like a huge thing for me. I went on to study some film scoring through Berkeley after that was released because that's that movie, because and the song and everything, they celebrated it at the Cape Ann Museum, the screening. Let's see, like not this past summer, but the summer before. And so that's something that I want to get my feet more wet in as well, film scoring.
Absolutely. Yeah. If you listeners want to know more about In God We Trust, you can go over to Isabel Marcheselli.com.
Yes.
Click on the tab. Yeah, click where it says news, and it will bring you right to it. You can see and read more about it. And let me just give you the spelling because we've been saying the name, but we haven't spelled it. Isabel is IsabelMarcheselli.com. That is where you would go for all of the music interests that you have. And links to finding out about other things that she does is right there on the website. All that good, juicy information is right there for you to find. Please go ahead, Isabel.
Forgive me, Tony. I just wish to quickly interject that I know my name is a mouthful. 10 out of 10 people misspell either my first name or my last name. So I've tried to make it easy, and you can also Google me at Isabel and the Whispers, the name of my band. Probably if you misspell it, it'll still come up. There's only one really, Isabel and the Whispers, that I'm aware of. You could Google that, and that should take you to my website as well.
Isabel and the Whispers. All right, that would be.
And we also have an album on Spotify. Yeah, if you look us up on Spotify, that's also my original debut album that I put out of 8 original songs with my band years ago.
So,
from New York.
Isabel, is there anything you would like to say in closing?
Well, that it's a great pleasure to have the chance to share with you, Tony, on your radio show, the work that I'm doing, in an effort to continue to reach out to people everywhere about the work that the music that I'm putting out. It means a lot to me, and I've been getting really encouraging responses. I suppose I'm just so grateful for your consideration and that of our listeners listening in. I really value their time and interest, and I suppose it all means a lot. I'm just taking things one day at a time, and there have been hurdles to overcome ever since the pandemic, but it's been a lot of very exciting stuff has been going on as well, and I have no plans to slow down. So I would love for people, this is my message to people out there listening. I really encourage you to visit and check out what's going on. Some of my themes that I love to write about and sing about: I love nature, life, my higher power, as I choose to write about my higher power, and God Almighty. And then I just love to put on an exciting show. I've been evolving over the years as an artist. I started out more low key, very acoustic, and now I really just I'm more like I'm trying to build more of a cabaret type act of sorts, mixed in with my singer-songwriter music. And so these are exciting times. And I would love for people to reach out to me, to email me, call me, check out my website, and hit me up on Facebook or leave comments, engage, and because I really do pay attention to these communications, and I want to just continue to build my music community for sure. That's like a very big thing on my heart in the coming years.
Well, goodness gracious. Isabel, thank you for joining us on the Anthony Taylor Show. Also, thank you
so much
for joining us on the Behind the Rhythm podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, Isabel Marcheselli.